Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Just here with my big cup of joe. I've been switching to in the afternoon to half calf. So I do the half calf myself. I don't buy it like half calf. I have like the Ninja coffee bar. And so like 3 little scoops on the scooper it comes with is for like a cup of coffee. So I do 1.5 regular and 1.5 decaf. So that's my half calf. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a Q&A. I asked you guys here and on Instagram some questions related to infertility and IVF. I wrote them down on my phone and today we're going to answer them. If you're new to my channel, my name is Jeana. I have been fighting the IVF fight for just about 2 years. In May, it'll be 2 years. I've been trying for almost 5.5 years to have a baby, so I'm in this fight. It's been quite a fight. I've had 3 miscarriages, multiple rounds of failed IVF, and we are about to start our 6th egg retrieval in hopes to get at least 1 more normal tested embryo. We have 1 that we tested and is genetically normal, and we are so excited about that. But as a worrier and a person that has been through quite a bit, I know that there is a chance that that genetically normal tested embryo will not work, and I do not want to have to make a decision after another miscarriage, since I've had 3 already, and after a miscarriage I am just like broken, and I just want to get the last egg retrieval over with while I'm on a high. And I say my last because luckily we have really good insurance that allowed us to have 4 egg retrievals, and this will be the 4th with that insurance. We paid for 2 rounds out of pocket. So this is like my last shot. So that's what we are doing currently. I'm kind of just like prepping for my next round, and I am so sorry for anybody watching this that has their cycle paused because of everything going on with COVID-19. I am so lucky that my clinic is not canceling rounds. I think the main reason they're not is because they do all procedures in the building. They have the entire building. They have an entire surgery center. They do everything there. And I think that's why it's not like people aren't going into the hospital, and they are not doing this for new patients. They're only taking on patients like myself that have been through enough and like have been in the middle and like know what they're doing. Nobody knew. It's just like, they called it, they said that they're doing like low maintenance patients. I consider myself to be high maintenance at this point, but I guess like I'm a pretty, I don't know, I guess like my cycles go pretty planned. Like there's nothing like catastrophic happening. It's just, you know, I ovulate early, I miscarry, you know, all these things. But let's just jump into the questions. Let's not go on and on about that. I'm sorry I'm sitting here again. I feel like I get the best natural lighting. In my thumbnail in my last video, somebody said this looks kind of like a foam finger, or like I'm giving the middle finger. It's just a railing. It's just a railing, guys. And this desk actually was given to me by a family friend that was like a second mom to me, and she passed away. And it used to be green, and Rob painted it for me, and we switched knobs. I just need to get like a little chair, but since we can't go to like Home Goods or any place like that, the chair's on hold, and you know, it's really no big deal. I could order one online, but I really would like to like see it first. I don't really want a chair. I want like a stool type situation, and it'll be like a vanity. Let's not go off topic. My number 1 question, which makes my blood boil. I'm sorry if like you've asked this question. Why have I not chose adoption / like a gestational carrier or something like that? Guys, adoption is not cheap. Adoption is so expensive, and adoption is not for everybody. I am not in a point of my journey yet where I'm ready to choose that. I haven't even thought about it. I just know that it's not for me right now. If you've watched like my videos for a while, you saw that last year actually, I made a whole video on like why we chose against PGS testing. Here I am today doing PGS testing. My whole world could change and I could say yes to adoption or fostering or something, but right now it is a hard no. I'm just not sure if I'm capable of handling everything that comes along with adoption. If you've adopted and you're doing this, like, you are one of the most amazing people in this world. I follow a few accounts that are for like adoption and fostering, and those moms are just, they're so strong and they're so amazing, and they are just tough cookies. I don't know if I have it in me to do it, but like I said, I could change my mind in a year or two. Who knows? But for now, it's a hard no. And I read a book a few years ago that literally traumatized me about like adoption before I was like 22 years old. It was about, I wish I knew the name of this book. It was such an intense, like serious, sad book. And it was about like a girl who was adopted, and her parents, years and years of struggling with, if you know the name of this book and if you've read it, please leave it down below. Her parents struggled so hard, and they finally adopted, and then of course they get naturally pregnant, and then I guess it just eats away at this girl, and like in her teen years she just makes bad choices and she ends up overdosing and dying. And that book literally left me scarred for life from that. Adoption is not the answer for everybody, and for now it's not my answer. I could change my mind in a year, but for now, like I said before, hard no. That brings me to my next question. I get asked a lot, when am I going to be okay with not being a mom? Like, when am I going to be done with treatments? This question really hurts a lot, because it's like asking somebody like when are you going to give up on your dream? It's making me emotional just talking about it out loud. And I don't know when I'm going to I don't know if I'm ever going to give up. I might run out of insurance, and I'll take out a loan if I want to keep going with IVF. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not ready to give up yet, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be ready to give up. I think that's a really rude question if continuing to ask somebody. You might just be asking because like you just want to, I'm sorry, the blinds like making me feel like straight. Let me move back a bit. I don't know if I'm ever going to just give up one day. It's like, as a mom, like, that got pregnant easily, if you're watching this, like, would you ever just give up, like, trying to, like, have that baby that you have? Like, it's just a really, like, I don't know. I really just hope that people stop asking me that question. Like, when is enough going to be enough? Whenever I decide, that's what it is. Okay, let's get past, like, the negative questions now, because those two questions drive me nuts. Somebody asked me, how do I stay so positive? So I have a hard time. I would say like I'm 80% positive and 20% like I get really down in the dumps. And I stay positive because I think of how lucky we are that we've been given this opportunity via the job that I took. If you're unaware, I took a job last September 2018, as a paraprofessional in a school. It was an extreme pay cut compared to being a nanny, a full-time nanny. But it offered amazing benefits. And at that point, we had just found out that our second round that we paid for out of pocket didn't work. And this job came out of nowhere as a blessing. And yeah. So here I am today, about to be my last round of egg retrievals. So we stay positive by just thinking of all the things that we have compared to all the things we don't have. I try not to dwell on the fact that, I could have had 3 babies by now. I try not to dwell on the negatives, because otherwise you just get into like a deep, deep, dark hole. When I'm feeling down, like I have bad days. The other day I laid in bed almost the entire day. We are coming up on the last round. If it worked in May, it would have been due, I think, like May 17th. And I think May is going to be a hard month for me in general, because it'll be Mother's Day that day. Last year on Mother's Day, I had my second miscarriage. So that was just like, I'm probably not participating in Mother's Day this year, even though like we'll probably still be in quarantine. I'm grateful for that because of all of that. But hearing positive stories keep me positive. Like, there's just so many different things that just keep me positive. I just feel like I can't live depressed. This is a hard one for me to answer. I don't know. I just keep going. You just have to keep going. I've been through a lot in my life, and through it all, I learned that, you know, it could always be worse. And I'm a tough cookie. I've been through worse things, and, you know, one day I can't wait for the day where I can come back and be like, wow, like, I'm grateful for this experience. I mean, I really hope that, like, we get to that point, but I can't wait to the point where, like, I'm past it and I can give somebody hope that is still fighting the fight, that, like, to not give up, because you just can't. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional in this video. But I just stay positive. Whew, let me pull myself together. So somebody asked me, because I say all the time how it's like a roller coaster, they ask, can you explain why it's a roller coaster? So, like, you go into IVF thinking, like, oh my God, yes, I'm finally at the point where, like, I'm done, like, checking every cycle, like, checking the ovulation strips, you know, going through all of that, and checking every month to take, like, that test, like, okay, the day before my period, let me take the pregnancy test. Is it going to be there? Is the line going to be there? So you get to the point of IVF thinking you're going to finally get your baby. I mean, that's how I was. I finally was like, yes, we're finally going to get our baby. Like, it's finally that time. And, you know, you're happy. And then I heard that I ovulated early, got one embryo, one egg that didn't fertilize. Then you're down. And then you get up again. Okay, I'm going to try again. Like, this is so exciting. You get so positive when you start around, because you're like, okay, this could be it. And then, you know, okay, you got one embryo, Jeana. This is great. We're going to transfer it. Boom, it didn't work. The first one didn't work. Okay, then you're down on your roller coaster. Okay, then I got this job. I was like, yes, I got 4 chances now. 4 egg retrievals. I could transfer. Like, this is it. This is going to happen again. And then you're up on your roller coaster. And then, you know, I started having miscarriages. And then I got to the point where, like, okay, I'm going to get past this. Let's try again. You're on your roller coaster. And then you're finally in the round, and you're waiting to hear the results of your embryos, like how many fertilized. And then, like, okay, you're positive. Okay, I got 7 eggs. I can't wait to hear how many fertilized. Then you find out only 2 of them are mature. And then, okay, then you're down. It's just like every day when you're in a cycle is a roller coaster ride. And I am jealous of those people that are just riding high on their roller coasters, because mine are so up and down. Nothing ever goes smooth for me. Nothing. It's always complicated. So that's what I mean by roller coaster. You get high hopes, and then you're going down, 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 and then high hopes, and then down, down, down. So that's what I mean by, like, a roller coaster ride. Somebody asked if you could still have sex through all of this. Yes, have all the sex you want. I think there was only one time when the doctor told me to, like, not have sex, and that's, like, after a miscarriage. Oh, and you can't really have sex after a transfer. Everybody's doctor is different. Mine only told me 2 weeks don't have sex until, like, you get a positive beta. But I know that some doctors don't want you to have sex for, like, 12 weeks. Every doctor is different on, like, what they're going to tell you. My doctor only tells us, like, not to do it, like, after a procedure or after a transfer. But, like, we could have sex still. It still could be fun. Obviously, I'm on the pill in between, like, cycles, so I don't ever think that I'm gonna have a miraculous miracle baby because I'm on the pill. But I mean, I guess it could still happen. I've deleted, like, my fertility friend app. I've deleted all those apps to even, like, know when I might be ovulating. I mean, I could feel it in my body, but when you're on the pill, like, you don't feel that anymore. So, I mean, yes, I could still have sex, and it's still fun. And actually, after, like, you get to that point of IVF, I'm going to say this, that, like, sex becomes a little bit more fun again, because, like, once you're, like, into, like, year 2 or 3 of trying, sex just, it feels like a chore. And I'm sorry if this is, like, inappropriate, but it kind of just, like, it feels like a job. And an upside to, like, IVF, like, it got fun again, because we knew that, like, we weren't going to get pregnant naturally. So there's the answer to that. My next question is, what testing have I had done? So it's really hard for me to remember all the tests. So I had the HSG test. I think that's the test where, like, you check your tubes to see if they're open. All mine was open. I had, like, the that's like the iodine test. I think you go in to like, you have to go to like a radiologist to get that done. Everything was fine. I've had hysteroscopies. That's where like they go in with a camera to check like your uterus, and they could see if there's any polyps or anything that needs to be removed, any scar tissue in your uterus. I've gotten tons of blood work done. They've checked for everything under the sun. We've had genetic testing done. We've had our chromosomes tested done. I think that's a karyotype test. Rob's been tested for everything out the wazoo. We have not done a DNA fragmentation test yet on Rob's sperm, because the doctor doesn't really suggest it at this point. And I have not done an ERA test yet, because an ERA test tells you whether or not you're like, I think it's pre-receptive, post-receptive, or just receptive of progesterone. And I think that because I've had 3 work and like they didn't like it, they were technically like chemical, 2 of them were technically chemical pregnancies because it lasted like a little bit past 5 weeks, but it wasn't just like, okay, you got pregnant and then it went away like in the same day. So we have not done that test. My doctor has not recommended it, and it's just something, again, we'd have to pay out of pocket for. Insurance doesn't cover it. But I'm pretty sure we've done everything else. Every blood work imaginable. I've been tested for like the blood clotting disorder, which I was really hoping to have because it's very common to have miscarriages. If you have that, you just have to take a shot that will prevent it. But I do take baby aspirin after my transfers because I do have the MTHFR gene mutation. But my doctor says it's there's a lot of like, there's a lot of unknowns with the MTHFR gene mutation, and they said that it could be a cause of like my miscarriages, and then like it couldn't. But after my last miscarriage, we did test like the tissue and the embryo, whatever they took out, and it found out that we had a chromosomal abnormality. I think that if that came back like nothing wrong, we would have done further testing, you know what I mean? But yeah, those are the tests that we've done. Sorry, I don't have names for you. So somebody had asked, why do I have bad eggs? I have no idea. My AMH levels are low for my age, but they're not extremely low. They actually went up a little bit between my last egg retrieval was February of 2019, and then I had my current egg retrieval April of 2020. I mean, I was really hoping to have great outcome this time because I did everything that, besides for like the strict diet of it starts with an egg, I took all the supplements, I removed all the toxins. Like I was really hoping that like, and I gave myself a good amount of time. Like my last miscarriage was in October, and the day afterwards I downloaded that book on my Kindle and I read it and I ordered all the supplements. So October 15th was the day I started that stuff. October 15th to November, December, January, February, March. I was on that that stuff and that lifestyle change for 5 months. So I was really hoping for a change. The only thing that we have not tried yet is back-to-back cycles. And the doctor did say that sometimes like that's oh my God, I've been chatting for 20 minutes. That could like be a good thing. So that's why we're doing this. But yeah, those are all the questions that I got, guys. If you have any other questions for me, please leave them down below. I can do a part 2. I kind of wanted to get this up for this week. It's National Infertility and Awareness Week. If you guys have any other video requests about IVF/infertility, please leave those requests down below. And I hope that you guys enjoyed hearing a few answers to my questions. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next video. I'm sorry for the lines on my face from the blinds behind me. I'm not a zebra. It's just the blinds. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.